Hello students, welcome to Accounting 1329. This is Payroll and Business Tax Accounting. I am Dr. Mercado and I am going to be your instructor for this course. Now, what I'm going to be doing this week is providing a lecture, not necessarily over Chapter 1 per se, but I did want to use the time for covering Chapter 1 to go over some logistics for the course and how I am going to be addressing these lectures that I'm going to be posting every week, okay? Now, the textbook that we are using is Payroll Accounting 2022 edition. We are using a brand new edition. Every year, every spring semester, we transition to a brand new edition because there are a lot of tax rate changes, different laws that take effect, and we want to make sure that we are using the most up-to-date information. So we are using the Payroll Accounting 2022 edition for spring, summer sessions, and fall 2022. Okay, so that is the textbook that we are using, and it does have to be used because all of our assignments are based on the 2022 edition rates. Okay, now for the most part, I am going to be recording lectures every week over specific problems. Okay, my lectures are not going to be over the content of the chapter. Okay, they are not going to cover the information. That is up to you, the student, to read. Now, if you have any questions, need any clarification, I am here to assist you, but I am not going to waste my time explaining something that is explained in the textbook when I can use that time to actually apply what was covered in the chapter within the actual problems that you're going to be having in your homework and eventually in your exams. Okay, so my time is going to be spent on problem solving. Okay, now chapter 1 is more of a overview chapter. Chapter 1 has a lot of terminology. It covers a lot of the various laws that affect employers in their payroll operations. It also examines the record-keeping requirements of the laws. It describes the employment procedures generally followed in the Human Resources Department. It also identifies the various personnel records used by businesses and the type of information shown on each of the forms. And it identifies the payroll register and the employee's earnings record. There is no problem solving in Chapter 1. Okay, so I am not going to go over that information. You all can read. Go ahead and read Chapter 1. It is important that you read it and that you do become familiar with these laws. I'm not asking you to memorize them, but I am asking you that you read and that you know, okay, I know there's a law that applies to this, there's a law that applies to that, that you are familiar with the information presented, okay? Now, the chapters are not very long. Let me see how many pages does Chapter 1 have? And within each of the chapters, there's a lot of images and everything that cuts into it. But we have Chapter 1 basically is about 26 pages long. So it should not take you very long to read. It is required that you read the chapter. Okay, so I'm going to let you all read Chapter 1, but I am going to use this time to go over kind of like the structure for the course and how this course I recommend be tackled. Okay, a lot of students, every student has their own different way of learning and studying and completing their assignments. But it is very important that we do all of these items. And this is the sequence that I recommend, okay? So there's things that need to be done each week. And this is the weeks that we cover a chapter. Now, this textbook, I love it because it has great examples. It has great resources. And it's only 6 chapters long, okay? So 6 chapters. We are covering each of these chapters with the exception of Chapter 1 because Chapter 1, like I said, is just more terminology and law information. But all of the rest of the chapters from chapters 2 through 6, they're going to be covered in the 2-week time frame. So we have 2 complete weeks to cover each of the chapters, okay, which is a lot of time, okay? And we are going to be practicing a lot, okay? Now, this is payroll accounting. We do not learn accounting by reading, okay? No. We learn accounting by doing it, okay? Reading is important because you have to be familiar with the concepts. You need to be able to know, okay, how do I calculate this? And, the textbook explains all of that, okay? But then you have to apply what you've read to the actual scenarios, okay? And that is where I come in these lectures that I'm going to be doing each week, okay? Now, what I recommend that happens each week is that you read the assigned chapter, okay? You carefully review the examples provided within the text. Okay, your textbook, once you get to chapter 2, you're going to be having a lot of problem solving. Okay, and there's examples included in your text. Please review those examples. They are an excellent resource. Okay, now I also post PowerPoints in Blackboard. I recommend that you download those PowerPoints, you go through them, you print them out if you can, and you use them to take notes as you're reading, whatever the case might be. There's useful information. It's an additional resource aside from your textbook that you can use. Okay. Now I am going to be recording videos or lectures about some of the problems. Okay. I am not going to go over every single problem in your homework. Okay. No. I'm going to select maybe 2 or 3 problems each week, and I'm going to cover those problems in detail with you so you can have as an additional resource. Okay. Now, in Cengage, I'll show you in a bit, but in Cengage, once you go into your homework problems, some of those homework problems have show me how videos, okay? It is recommended that you review those videos so that can help you complete your homework problem as well, okay? After you're done reading, reviewing your PowerPoints, reviewing the lectures, then I recommend that you first tackle your quiz. Okay, your quiz consists of multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank questions. Okay, so you read the chapter, you take your quiz. Okay, and then you leave for the very end your homework problems. These are the application based problems. Okay, so your quiz, when you open up your quiz, you have 60 minutes to complete it. If you open it, you must complete it. Okay, so you can't save your work on the quiz. It has to be completed at that time that you started. Now, for your homework, you can save your work. Okay, I don't expect you to complete 10 problems in one sitting. Okay, I know you all are busy, you work, you have children, you have parents that you're taking care of. Things happen. I don't expect you to complete your homework in one sitting. So you have the option to save your work and then resume it at a later time. Okay. Now the homework will be the longest, the more time consuming part of your week, because of course, depending on the week, depending on the problems, one problem can take you 10 minutes, another problem can take you 3 hours. Okay. It just depends. Okay. So I recommend that you leave that for the end. But before you do any of your assignments, what must we do? We must read. Okay. Reading is something you should not avoid. You're not going to understand what you're doing if you don't read. Okay. Now, if students have any questions, please contact me Monday through Friday. Okay. Please refer to your course syllabus for scheduled office hours. Okay. Now, Monday through Friday, I am available. Okay. I am teaching classes in campus. I have my office hours, which are in your syllabus, that you can go visit me if you like. Okay. You can send me a Blackboard message. You can send me an email. I'm available. Okay. Monday through Friday. Okay. If you send me any messages late Friday night, Saturday or Sunday or a holiday, I probably will not answer until the next available business day, which will be on a Monday. Okay. So I tell my students, if you want me to answer to your questions so you can be able to complete your homework, make sure that you schedule enough time during the week to work on your homework so you can be able to, if you have any questions, address them to me. Okay. So make time during the week. I know we have busy schedules, but I tell my students, you know what? If you set a schedule every day, okay, for the first day, I'm going to read the chapter, okay? The next day, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to review the PowerPoints and the lectures posted on Blackboard, okay? And then the next day, I'm going to go ahead and work on my quiz, okay? And then Thursday and Friday, I'll start working on my homework problem, because that way, if I have any questions, I can get them to Dr. Mercado and she can go ahead and respond timely, okay? I'm here to assist you, but I'm also not tied to my computer 24/7, okay? And aside from teaching, I do have other responsibilities, attending meetings, going to different events, promoting the programs that we have, tutoring, advising. So there's a lot of things going on aside from teaching. Plus, I do teach several sections. So either I'm in class teaching or I'm online building material for my online classes. So I have a pretty busy schedule. Okay. I try to respond as soon as possible. Usually I check my messages in the morning and in the afternoon before I head home. So I tend to respond timely. But if you have any questions, please feel free to either send me an email message, a Blackboard message, or go visit me in my office. Okay, if you want to see me, I'm available at the Pecan campus. Go down there and pay me a visit. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, let's say you're working on your homework and you have a question, you know what, you've read the material, you're doing what the textbook is telling you to do based on the examples provided, and you're still getting the problem wrong and you don't understand why. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to send me an email, right, or a Blackboard message. I prefer that you send me a Blackboard message. That way I know in what class you're in. Okay, I teach multiple sections. So using Blackboard messages is the preferred method for me. Now, if you decide to email me, that is also perfectly fine. But just make sure that you include your name and the section that you're in. That way I can trace you back to my class, okay? Include your full name and the class section that you're in, the problem that you are having a problem on, or if you have a question on. So don't just tell me, Miss, I'm lost, and you throw numbers at me. Okay, no. I want to know what problem number are you working on, okay? I also want to know what you did. I want your step-by-step solutions, okay? Don't tell me, Miss, I'm working on problem 4 and I got 89.50 and I don't know why it's marking it wrong. Well, first of all, I want to know how you got 89.50, okay? I want to know step by step so I can trace your work and I can be able to provide guidance. I'm not going to give you the answer, okay? But I'm going to tell you, okay, you need to go back to step number 3 and recalculate that step because you rounded incorrectly. Or, you're multiplying by the incorrect amount or whatever the case might be, okay? So I need to see your work, okay? So send me the problem number, your name, the class that you're in, and your step-by-step solution so I can provide guidance. Okay. Something very, very important that I want to mention is timeliness. Okay. We are adults and we should be responsible for our time, managing our time, organizing our time to meet deadlines. Okay. What I recommend, and I highly recommend this, is that you print your syllabus. Okay. Create a folder for my class. Okay, and put your syllabus in that folder, okay? And as the weeks progress, you mark off everything that you're completing, okay? I don't want to hear the excuse, Miss, I did not know that this assignment was due, okay? I let students know their weekly assignments in the announcements that I post in Blackboard. It is posted on your Blackboard weekly module and it is posted on your syllabus. So I give you 3 ways for you to know the assignments that are due and the due dates. It is your responsibility as a student to meet those deadlines. So the excuse that, Miss, I forgot is not a valid excuse for me. Why? Because I've given you all of the resources so you know what is due and when. Okay? So please print your syllabus and keep it handy to make sure you do not miss any of your assignment deadlines. Extensions or makeups are not allowed unless the student has a documented or a valid reason. Okay, if the student is in the hospital, if they have their children in the hospital, if they're sick, if they had problems at work. You know what? I've had students tell me, Miss, I am not going to be available next week because I'm going to a work conference and I'm going to be busy. Can you open up my assignments earlier so I can complete them? They communicate with me. The key is communication. Okay, I've had students tell me, Miss, you know what? I'm going to be having a baby. I'm not going to be available. Perfect. I know what's going on. I will work with you. Okay, but I need to know what's going on. Okay, I'm a very comprehensive person. I feel you, and I understand. Sometimes life happens, so don't be afraid to approach me. Okay, I'm very approachable, and I'm here to assist you. But make sure that you communicate with me and that you don't abuse, you know what, Miss, every week you're late on your assignments because you can't manage your time. No, that's not valid. We need to make sure that we figure out a way to manage our time efficiently and effectively, okay? So, this is what I recommend that we do. Now, your homework, your quizzes, your tests, your projects, they're all going to be completed in Cengage. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to transfer over to Cengage. Let me see, where did it go? Let me open up a new tab. Okay, so we're going to log in into Blackboard. Okay, and then we're going to go to my course. Okay, depending on the class that you're taking, all of my classes are structured the same, whether it be online or face to face. I provide the same resources to all of my students. Okay, let me go into my spring 2022 classes. Okay, so like I said, every chapter from chapters 2 through 6 are problem solving. Chapter 1 is more of a theory based, more of a, reading different laws and understanding different concepts. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Cengage resources and I'm going to find an assignment that's actually if you go to your Cengage resources links, you're going to find everything that you need. All of your assignments are here. Access to the course, to the ebook, technical support, everything you find under the Cengage resources links. Okay. Now you have your readings. You're going to have to read chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's an appendix. Okay. And then you have your assignments. Okay. So let me go ahead and let me find an assignment. Just whichever one. I just want to show you how it looks. Okay. I want to demonstrate how it looks and what resources you have for your homework. Okay, so you're going to have the assignment. You're going to have 2 takes. So students have 2 tries on all of their assignments, whether it be homework, quizzes, or tests. Okay, and I always keep the highest grade. Okay, so what I recommend is if you do not get a 70% or better, that you use that second attempt. Okay, if you scored an 80, why not use the second attempt? Maybe you'll get 100, maybe you'll get an 85. Okay, I am providing you 2 attempts to try to earn the most points possible. Okay, so let's start the assignment. Now once you start the assignment, you're going to have all of your homework problems here. Okay, in this case we have 9 problems. Okay, and then you have the numbering of each problem. So if you're working on a problem, maybe you're working on problem 2.8 and you're having issues with it, you let me know. Miss, I'm working on problem 0208A and I'm having problems with it. Okay, that way I can go into the system and locate you and then locate your problems. Okay, now once you log in, each problem will have examples and important information that you're going to be using to apply to the problem. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to read all of this information and then apply it in the problem. Now this does not substitute for you to read. You still have to read the entire chapter. If you want to refer to your ebook, you can refer to your ebook and it'll take you to the section. This particular problem applies to section in Learning Objective 1. So if you click on it, it will take you to the ebook. Okay, let me show you. It's loading. Let me give it a couple of minutes. Okay, so it'll give you the section in the chapter. We're covering chapter 2, and then you can go over the information. Now you have arrows here. You can go to the front, you can go to the back, and you can continue reading. Now that I'm here, let me just show you one thing. I don't want this going to waste. Now I know students do not like to read. Okay? I was a student. I don't mind reading, but sometimes I get tired of reading. So you know what? This has a reader for you. If you either, maybe English is not your strong language. Like for example, me, I was born in Mexico. My strong language is Spanish. Okay, I think in Spanish and I want to speak in Spanish. But sometimes before I speak, I need to translate that to English. So sometimes for me, it's just easier to hear someone read it to me. Okay, and we have a reader.
Employee. An individual is an employee if the individual performs services in a covered employment, as long as the common law relationship of employer and...
Okay, so you see it reads to you and it highlights as you're reading. Okay, so if you have some kind of disability or maybe English is not your strong language or whatever the case might be, you have a reader here. You can highlight, you can take notes. There's a lot of resources. Play with it, okay? Play with your Mind Tab reader, okay? So you're going to read, okay? Now, you have the option to print your problem, okay? A lot of students, and that includes myself, I am old school. I like to do it in paper, okay? Especially when you get to the longer problems, okay? This is short, but once you get to maybe creating a payroll register or completing a 941, I just like to do it on paper. So you have the option of printing the item, and then if you find an error within the problem, you can report it, okay? Now, for this specific problem, you do not have a video, okay? If you would, it would show up here, okay? Now, you have to answer questions A, B, and C, okay? Now, if you check down here, it says 5 check my works remaining, okay? So you can check your work, okay, 5 times, okay? And I'm just going to show you here. You're going to enter, I'm going to enter whatever. I haven't even read the question, but I'm just going to put whatever numbers, okay? So this is what you figured out, okay? You're going to go ahead and you're going to do check my work, okay? Now what happens is it tells you which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong, okay? The ones that you got wrong are marked with an X. The ones that you got correct are marked with a check mark, okay? It tells you you have 4 more tries to get it right, okay? After 4 tries, you will no longer be able to change your answer, and that's what's going to be submitted for grading, okay? So you have 4 tries, so you can check these change these numbers, and then try it again and again, okay, until you exhaust your attempts. So you're going to have 5 tries for each of the problems, okay? That way you can try to figure out what is it that you're doing right, what is it that you're doing wrong, okay? So this is how your homework looks. It has examples, it has information, you work the problem, you have your check your works. Down here, you can email the instructor. If you email me using this button, I'm going to get an email message with an image of the problem, which is perfect because that way I know what problem you're working on, okay? And it populates your name and your course information. So if you're going to email me, please use, because you have a problem on a specific problem, use this feature down here, email instructor, okay? Now you have the option save and exit. If you're working on the problem and you have to go make dinner or you have to go out run errands or you have to go work, you save and you exit, okay? When you are done with all of the 9 problems, then you submit the assignment for grading, okay? At that point, the assignment is going to be submitted, it's going to be graded, and it's going to populate in your gradebook, okay? So if you don't want to grade it, you just want to save it, make sure that you use the correct button, okay? So you're going to look up here to see what resources you have for each of the problems, okay? This one does not have a video either. This one does not have a video. This one does not have a video. Now this one has a show me how video, okay? Now the videos or the lectures that I post will more likely be on the problems that do not have videos, okay? That way you can have supplemental information. Like this problem has a video, so I'm not going to worry about covering it because there's already a video included, okay? So if you click on it, you'll open up a link and then you'll have a video.
We will learn to compute a gross pay. We are given that Eric Foreman worked 48 hours during the week.
So you see the videos are short, it explains the problem and it goes over how to solve it. Okay, so these problems, resources are available for some of the problems. You see this one also has a video, this one does not, and then this one has a video, okay? So some of them have videos, others do not have videos. I will select 2 or 3 problems each week, the more complicated problems that do not have videos, so I can go over that information and then you try the rest based on the information provided, the examples provided. You need to be able to apply what you've learned to the actual scenario and be able to calculate the different information requested of you, okay? So this is how your homework looks. These are the videos. Sometimes the problems will have it. Sometimes the problems will not have it. You have direct access to your ebook from here, so you can review that as well. Okay. So that is what's going to be going down each week that we cover a chapter. We're going to be having a test after each of the 2 chapters. So you're going to have 3 tests. The first one's going to be over chapters 1 and 2. The second one's going to be over chapters 3 and 4. And then the last one will be over chapters 5 and 6. You're going to have a comprehensive project And then you're going to have your comprehensive final exam over all 6 chapters. Okay. It is very, very important. Okay, let me go back. It is very important that you complete your homework. Okay. Why? Okay. Now, your homework is used to help prepare you for your test, to make sure that you understand what you're reading, and we can be able to apply what was learned. Now, your problems on your tests are coming directly from your homework. Okay, and I will be giving you a review of exactly which problems are going to be on your test so you can study them. Okay, if you do not complete your homework, you will not have the answers to the homework problems. Okay. The only way you're going to have answers to the homework problems is if you complete the homework. So, what happens is you have from Monday through Sunday to complete your homework. Okay. After you submit your homework, you will have access to the solutions, to the feedback, to the correct answers. That way, you can go back and check your work and figure out what you did right and what you did wrong and how to fix it for when you take your test. Okay, so I've had students tell me, Miss, we're going to complete the test and I have not done any of my homework. How am I going to study? Well, it becomes very difficult at that point because you didn't do any of your homework. Excuse me. So, if you did not do any of your homework, you're not going to have any review material. Homework is required. Quizzes are required. They are not optional. You must complete your weekly assignments not only to earn points, but to apply what you've learned in the chapter. Okay? So it's very important that you complete your weekly assignments. Once you complete them, the assignments close on Sunday. By Monday of the following week, you can go back into your gradebook and you can review your work. And the solutions will only be available to those students that attempted and completed the homework and each of the problems. If you did not attempt a specific problem, you will not have the solutions for that problem. So make sure that you attempt and complete all of your homework problems. Okay. So that is basically what I have. This is just an overview. I just wanted to use this time on week number 1. Make sure that you obtain your access to Cengage immediately. A free trial period is given by Cengage, so students can start working on their assignments from day number 1. So there is no excuse that, Miss, my financial aid money has not kicked in or I haven't gotten paid. Those are not valid excuses because Cengage is giving you a free trial period. Okay, so make sure that you register with Cengage so you can be able to have access to your assignments. Okay, and if anything happens, if you have any questions about anything, whether it be the course structure, the content, questions about my office hours, my availability, anything whatsoever, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am available to help you and answer questions that you might have. And you know what? If I don't have an answer, I'll try to find you an answer and I'll get back with you. Okay? So I want this to be a very productive, effective, exciting semester for us. I wish you all the best. Please continue to practice safe guidelines. COVID is still around, so make sure that we do social distancing. We wear a face mask when we're out in public. Whatever we can to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful semester, and I'm here to assist you in anything, any way possible. Don't forget to communicate with me if you have any issues during the semester. Do not come to me the last week of the semester. Miss, I haven't done any assignments. What can I do? At that point, I can't help you. Okay? If something happens, let me know. Okay? And I will go ahead and try to work with you as much as I can. Okay? So that is basically it for week number 1. Make sure that you do read chapter 1 and you complete your quiz. Your homework for week number 1 is extremely easy. It's more like matching exercises and terminology based. There is no problem solving. And I'm doing this, week number 1 is usually for you to be able to register for Cengage, become familiar with Blackboard, become familiar with Cengage, and be able to get prepared, print your syllabus, do all of that. Once we get to week number 2, we're starting problem solving. So make sure that you have access to a speaker or to headsets so you can be able to listen to my lectures, as I do provide very useful information for you to be able to solve some of these problems. Okay? So that is basically it. I wish you all a wonderful day, and until next time, have a great day. Bye bye.